Assalamualaikum. So today we're going to continue with the SPE 2015 science. So let's start with the section A of the paper. Answer all questions in this section. Each question or statement is followed by 4 suggested answers or completions. Choose the best answer or completion and write the letter in the answer box. Number 1. A bottle containing kerosene, shown in figure 1, is labeled with a hazard symbol. What does the symbol represent? So always find the keywords in the question. So in this case, you have to pay attention to figure 1. So look for figure 1. And the question is asking about the hazard symbol and what it represents. And then you can see that at the center of the bottle, you can see a symbol that looks like fire. So based on the choice, you can see that fire and flammable has the same meaning, therefore the answer is C. By looking at the choice, you have A, bio, hazard. So bio means it's living things. And hazard means danger. So it means living things that can cause danger, such as virus. B, explosive. So explosive means you can see a symbol with something exploding out of it. So it's not a good drawing. You have to memorize this, so you can check your textbook on the very first chapter where it shows you the symbol. And you have to memorize all the symbol here. So in chapter 1, you were taught about hazard symbol, and as you can see, explosive substance that react violently when heated or struck metal. So you can see this one is the substance, and it shows explosion. And then B, the second one, flammable. It catches any substance that catches fire easily, and you can see the symbol is a fire. And the example is petrol, kerosene, alcohol. Irritant is any substance that can irritate you. It means that it causes you feel like you want to scratch it. And the symbol is just simple X. Radioactive is any substance that can emit harmful radiation which can lead to cancer. So you can find this in nuclear plant. And the object include plutonium, uranium, and so on. And the symbol is like a fan. So circle at the center and then a fan surrounding it. Biohazard is poisonous substance of biological nature. It means that it is alive. And the symbol is the C, 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 and then a circle like that. An example could be viruses or any microorganism that can lead to danger. Corrosive means any substance that corrode you, for example, different kind of acid or alkali, and the symbol is usually demonstrated by using a hand or any object where it melted as you pour a liquid. And toxic substances harmful in small doses. It means it can cause death. So the symbol here is a skull. Okay, let's continue with the question. Question number 2. Figure 2a shows a 100 cubic centimeter beaker containing some colored liquid. So take note, you have to pay attention to the figure 2a, and then you're using 100 cubic centimeter beaker, and then it's filled with some colored liquid. All the liquid is then poured into 50 cubic centimeter measuring cylinder. So take note of that again, and this time we have figure 2b. Which level will the colored liquid reach in the measuring cylinder? So pay attention to figure 2a first, and then the diagram is not very clear, but I can see the line here somewhere around that. And then the question asks you, where will it be after you pour this beaker in 2a into 2b? And since here it's 20, here is around 30, and it should be somewhere in the middle, so it should be above 20, so you can eliminate 15. And since it's between 20 and 40, you can eliminate 25 as well, and it doesn't exceed 45, so the answer most likely to be B. So unfortunately, the diagram is not clear here, but with that information, the answer will be B. Alright, next one. Question 3. Aminuddin is measuring the area of small shell as shown in figure 3. So you are to calculate area of this shell. And then the shell is irregular shape object. So for irregular shape object, we use this method called square grid of non-length. So how do you know the length of this square grid? So you're given 1 centimeter there, you're given 1 centimeter there. So area of this square is equal to side times side. Therefore, 1 centimeter times 1 centimeter. Therefore, the answer is 1 square centimeter. Therefore, 1 square grid is 1 square centimeter. And as I mentioned before, if the square is fully covered like that, then it's considered as 1. If it's covered more than half or exactly half, then it's also considered as 1. However, if the square is less than half, let's say you only cover here, and it's considered as 0. So let's have a look. Let's count the full one first. So 1, always write down the number so that you don't forget. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So I counted the full one first, so you have 13. Then let's have a look at the one that is partially covered. So this one is more than half. You can see it's more than half. So this one is 14. This one is also more than half, 15. This one is not. It's not. This one, you can consider that to be more than half, so 16. This one is not. This one is 17. This one is not. This one is definitely more than half, 19. More than half, 20. This one is actually less than half, so don't consider that one, 20. This one is also less than half, we don't consider it. This one is more than half, so 20. And then 22. So altogether, estimated area is 22. So this one is also odd. So oh, I forgot about this one. So that one is 23. So you have found the area for 1 cubic centimeter. Then 23 is the box times by 1 square centimeter. You get 23 square centimeter. Therefore, the estimated area, so it's not a complete it's not 100% accurate, so you just estimate it. Therefore, the answer is D, 23 square centimeter. Number 4, the beaker in figure 4 contains 3 different liquid. So the first liquid 1, you have mass 50 gram and volume 100 cubic centimeter. Second one, the volume is 50 cubic centimeter and the mass is 50 gram. And the third one, mass is 200 gram and the volume is 50 cubic centimeter. Which statement about density of the liquid is correct? So the question asks about density, so you have to calculate it. Density is equal to mass over volume. Therefore, in this case is 50 divided by 100. Therefore, you have 5 divided by 10 is 0.5. And then don't forget the unit, just copy down the unit, gram, because mass is on top, over cubic centimeter. Then followed by this one, again, density is equal to mass over volume, 50, but 50, you should have 1 gram per cubic centimeter. And the third one, density is equal to mass over, oops, so it should be mass over volume. Here should also be mass over volume. Therefore, 200 gram divided by 50 cubic centimeter, you will have, just cancel, you have 4 gram per cubic centimeter. Let's do that properly. So let's have a look at the statement A. Liquid 1 is denser than liquid 2. So you can see that liquid 2 is actually 1, with this one is 0.5. So it's not denser, it's less dense. Number 2, liquid 2 is denser than liquid 3. Again, 4 to 1, so that one is also not correct. Liquid 3 is denser than liquid 1. So you can see 4 is more than 0.5. That one is true. Liquid 2 and liquid 3 have the same density. It's not true, therefore the answer is C. Let's carry on. Number 5. Moni and her friend carried out an experiment on food tests. They placed an unknown substance on the towel and added a few drops of iodine solution as shown. After that, they wrote down what they have observed in the experiment in table 1. So iodine, you have not learned this one. So iodine is a test for starch. So if there is a starch, it will change color from yellow to blue black. So let's have a look based on observation. So as I mentioned, observation. So they wrote down what they observed in the experiment in table 1. So Moni, unknown's food become wet, then the yellow solution turns blue-black, reaction occur in the test tube, there's not even a test tube, then the unknown food looks darker. Who wrote down the best observation? So the worst observation will be Alia, because there is no test tube at all, so that one is definitely out. And then second one that I will eliminate is this one, it become wet, because when it wants you're adding iodine is liquid, so definitely if you put a liquid on a solid, it will become wet. And then the yellow solution turn blue black and unknown substance look darker, so the darker color is blue black. So this one is not fully wrong, but the most accurate one is Nasmi. Therefore the answer is C. Number 6, figure 6a show mimosa plant. So mimosa is a very good example of a plant that shows change, that shows response when there's a change. So figure 6b shows the mimosa plant closes its leaf when touched. So 6a is the mimosa plant and 6b is when the plant closes when touched, like that one. So which of the characteristics is correct for the above example? Living thing excrete waste. No, you don't see any waste being given out there. So excrete waste mean they have to remove the waste substance from their body. For us human, usually we remove by sweat or through our urine. That's why we need to go to toilet. Living things grow and develop. As you can see, there's no change in size there. Living things respire all the time. So this one is we do respire all the time, but it doesn't shows the above example. So the above example is about how they respond to stimuli. So stimuli are changes in the environment. So in this case, in 6a, it's not being touched, and suddenly at 6b, it's touched. So there's a change there. So a sense of touch. Therefore, the answer is D. Number 7, figure 7 show organism collected in a forest. So you have altogether 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 animals. The organisms are grouped according to their same common characteristic. So these are talking about classification. So how do they group these organism? So in order to group organism, you have to observe, look what are their similarities and differences. So group P has a muscular foot, one pair of antenna, body covered by shell. So you can have this one is antenna, one foot, and then shell. So that can be considered group P. And there you go, antenna, and then you have a shell. So this one is also P. Okay, and then group Q has 6 legs, one pair of antenna, and 3 body parts. So pay attention to the 6 legs. So you can see that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that one is a Q. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's a Q. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Not a Q. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's a Q. This one is many smaller leg. This one also 8 leg. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This one has many legs. Group R at legs. So let's have a look at legs group R. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We have counted just now. The scorpion also have 8 legs, and this one have many legs. So the last group should have more than 8 legs. So let's just write it down. So this one is S. This one is S. Which of the following organisms are classified in group S? So since we have categorize every single one of them, so group S is number 1 and number 4. 1 and 4. So 1 and 4, therefore the answer is A. Next question, number 8. Which of the following substance contain particles that occupy the whole space of its container? Okay, which of the following substance contain particles? So everything is made up of tiny particles called matter. So it's an atom that surrounds them, and then occupy the whole space of its container. It means that if you put this substance, the container will be filled with the particles. For example, this is the container. If you put water, then the water will be until here. There might be some space that the water doesn't go to, so it doesn't touch all the space. Water is a liquid, oil is liquid, so both of these will show the same characteristic. And if you put a wood inside of it, you will not be able to put a full wood into it, then there should be still some space in the container. So this is a solid. And then A is a gas. So gas will definitely fill all the spaces until it touches everything. So the answer for this one is A. Only gas can occupy the whole space of its container. Number 9. Study the experiment in figure 8A and 8B. Experiment 1. At the start of the experiment, you can see there's a copper sulfate in a jelly, and you can see that it slowly diffuses up. So it's not very clear, but at the very end, you can see that it go further up. So if you don't see the diagram, it says here diffuse up the jelly, diffuse further up. In experiment 2, you can see that at the very beginning, it only covered until here, and it spread out even more, and it spread way more. Based on the result observed, which of the following conclusion from the two experiments is correct? So if you look at the days, for experiment 1, this one take days, week, and this one is in a jelly. So jelly is a solid, so in solid, it takes up to weeks. Experiment 2, you can see that hours, and after that 1 day. So for liquid, it usually take hours to day, not as long as solid. So which conclusion? Conclusion mean what can you understand after you see this? What is the result? So A, copper sulfate particle diffuse faster in solid than in liquid. So as I mentioned just now, in solid it takes weeks, so that one is definitely no. Diffuse faster in liquid than in solid, yes, because in liquid it's hours, in solid it's days. And then gas, it's not showing any test on gas, so that one is out. It must be on what you observe. there. Therefore, the answer is B. But if the gas is shown in gas, definitely gas will be the fastest among these three. So diffusion will always occur fastest in gas, followed by liquid, followed by solid. All right, number 10. Study the experiment in figure 9. There's a plastic cover, there's a glass ball, beaker, and boiling water. So at the start of the experiment, you can see that there's nothing there. And after 30 minutes of boiling, because if you look at boiling water, after 3 minutes, you can see that there's water filled in here. So the boiling water is located on the outside. And what happens is that when water is boiling, you can see that it transforms into gas by evaporation. So it will evaporate, evaporation, evaporate. Evaporate means it changes from liquid to gas, and after evaporate it will touch this plastic cover and then it condense into droplets, so just like raining. So it transforms into droplets of water. That's why you can see that the beaker at first it's empty, then it be filled with water. So on top of here, condensation. If there's no cover on top, no plastic cover, it will not happen. So just remember, if you order foods take away, you will see the same thing as well. If you put the cover on top of hot foods, you will see that the water vapor will condense like that. So at the start of the experiment, the beaker is empty. After 30 minutes, the beaker is filled with water. Which of the following explain the presence of water in the beaker? A. Water vapor is absorbed directly into the beaker from the glass bowl. Absorbed directly. I don't even understand what it means, so that one should be out. Water vapor condenses to water droplets on the plastic and fall into the beaker. So that's what I said just now. And water vapor melts. No, it doesn't melt. Melt means solid to liquid. We don't see any solid there, so that one is definitely out. Water vapor in the glass bowl rises up and fall directly into the beaker. Rises up, but it means that it will just go up and go down like that. No, that shouldn't happen. You need to touch the plastic first and then it goes down. Therefore D is also out. Therefore the best answer for this question is B. Number 11. What happens when elements combine to form a mixture? Elements, it means that two or more, because it's not possible to have only one element to combine. And then to form mixture. Mixtures mean no chemical reaction. And then, therefore, if you let the choice, A new substance is formed, B, chemical reaction occur, C, heat energy is produced, and D, no chemical reaction. The best answer is D. So, and heat energy means there, and all these two are the same, and these are for compound. Therefore, the answer is D. Alright, so I need to stop for now. My battery is dead, so I'm going to continue in the next one. Thank you. Bye.